They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Reset. Take. Let's go one more.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
This is it. 19. Check. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Here's Breida. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. On second down, a run with Breida. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Watson, off play action. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Let's go, Drake.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the throw taken in by Chark. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 35-yard line.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Here we go, here we go. 59, Mike 31.
Throwing now, Watson. Dancing to his left. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mindset, 18. 6-man. Alert, alert. Check curls, check curls.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
It's a gain of 29. That's good for the Texans. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Come on, D.
From the red zone now, Watson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting sacks.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And Watson's going to throw it here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Houston, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know when Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel? Close in the counter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game has veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's close in the counter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's close in the counter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb, I don't get to take off. A hater get up, I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long, I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what the mad for. I just had to do it, got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib, ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.